Any other questions? All right, I'll read Amelia Village, Ohio, Resolution R 2012-03, a resolution declaring the intent to appropriate for public use property required for the improvement of West Main Street, State Route 125, declaring an emergency. At this time, I need a motion to waive the 3 readings on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Amelia Village, Ohio, Resolution R 2012-03, a resolution declaring the intent to appropriate to public use the property required for the improvement of the West Main Street, State Route 125. This time, entertain a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Again, I just want to go on record. I don't like taking anybody's property, but I mean, this is hands down in the best interest of the village. I mean, that's really why I'm going the way I'm doing. I don't like doing it.
Nobody wants to do it.
And I think I speak for everyone up here. We don't like doing it, but we've looked at it. We've spent a lot of time on it. We're under the gun. We got to look at the bigger picture here, and I hate to say it. I wish there was another way to go.
There it is. Roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
I'll go ahead and read this one more time and then use the clause. Amelia Village, Ohio, Resolution R 2012-03, a resolution declaring the intent to appropriate to public use property required for the improvement of West Main Street, State Route 125, and I need a motion for the approval of the emergency clause.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. We will move on to our next order of business.
Mayor, can I let council know what happens next?
Yes, please do.
Notification will go out sometime this week to all the affected property owners to let them know that we are intending to appropriate the property and to let them know that and to start making arrangements to allow appraisers to visit the property. We have to give them notice and let them know that the appraisers will be there to appraise the property. So that will be happening later this week.
Anything else?
I believe that's it.
Okay. We will move on to ordinance 02012-02. This is the third reading. An ordinance by the Council of Amelia Village, Fremont County, Ohio, accepting the dedication of a portion of South Deer Creek Drive and a portion of South Ridge Drive. This time I entertain a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
We will go to ordinance 0-2012-09. Amelia Village, Ohio, ordinance 0-2012-09, ordinance by the Council of Amelia Village, Ohio, fixing the amount of bond for the village physical officer and authorizing the premiums for such bond to be paid out of the funds of the village and declaring an emergency. At this time, I need a motion to suspend the rules on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I got a quick question.
Sure.
We're paying for the bond?
Yes.
Is that what we did with the last? Okay.
That's
Okay. I'm
typically
just
how it's done.
double checking. That's all.
Kevin, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Paula.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Amelia Village, Ohio, ordinance 0-2012-09, an ordinance by the Council of Amelia Village, Ohio, fixing the amount of bond for the village physical officer and authorizing the premiums for such bond to be paid out of the funds of the village. And this time I need a motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Paula.
Okay, yes.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Okay, what you're writing.
Passes 6-0.
Ordinance 0-2012-09. This time, I would like to have a motion to approve the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
We have a first, we have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Paula.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Mia Village, Ohio, ordinance 0-2012-10, an ordinance determining the funds contributed to the health savings accounts of full-time employees who receive medical hospitalization insurance from the village and declaring an emergency.
I'll move. Make emergency.
Second.
We have a first, we have a second. We have any discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
What are you voting on?
The HSA accounts.
Right. Are you waiving the three readings?
The motion was for an emergency.
To waive the three readings on three separate dates.
Is that the discussion just for you guys up there, I guess?
On the HSA account?
We do have a vote-in process.
Yes, we do. And that motion was to waive the three readings on three separate dates. Do I have a motion for that?
You already did. We were at me vote.
Right, I'm just clarifying so everybody
I
knows.
believe the prior motion was to declare it an emergency. We haven't really adopted the ordinance.
No.
My understanding is the motion was for an emergency, not the
Right.
waiving. And if I understand what the solicitor said, it has to
We
be
have
in
to do
set
that.
order.
I would, whoever made that motion, if they want to recall that motion.
You amend your motion?
I didn't make it.
Yeah, you did.
I did? I'm sorry. I take it back. I thought you did.
Let me reread this again.
Right. Motion be recalled then?
Yes.
Amelia Village, Ohio, ordinance 0-2012-10, an ordinance determining the funds contributed to the health savings accounts of full-time employees who receive medical hospitalization insurance from the village and declaring an emergency. At this time, I would like to make a motion to waive the three readings on three separate dates. Right?
What did we do wrong in the first place?
You
Right.
jumped to the emergency clause, which is the last thing we should do.
I didn't think we did, but go ahead. We made a motion.
Okay, I'll reinstate my motion.
I'll make the motion that we suspend the rules for 3 readings.
And I'll second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Paula.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Amelia Village, Ohio, ordinance 0-2012-10, an ordinance determining the funds contributed to the health savings accounts of full-time employees to receive medical hospitalization insurance in the village. This time I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
I have a first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Paula.
Okay, yes.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Abstain.
Passes 5-0 with one abstention.
Ordinance 0-2012-10, an ordinance determining the funds contributed to the health savings account for full-time employees who receive medical hospitalization insurance in the village. At this time, I need a motion
We're gonna let
for the
Chief
approval of the emergency clause.
have any input before we do this.
Sure.
Is this what you wanted to speak about, Chief?
Yeah. The contribution for the HSA account dramatically has something to do with our insurance because the history of this is, let's start back a couple of years ago when you gave the employees $1,000 for their insurance to help them meet their deductible. That was replaced by the HSA account. The HSA account was the village decided to give the employees the $500 up front and then contribute to their HSA account per paycheck, I guess. And then after this, that was traded just recently for an expectant tier program for prescriptions. The thing about that is that Anthem was contacted, and before the tier program would have been in place, you would have to met a $5,000 deductible. So you might as well say there was no tier program, because I don't know that anybody would pay $5,000 unless there was circumstances where somebody would be dramatically very sick or something like that where it would even work. So that replaced an HSA with a tier program, and this HSA that you're about to vote on, or you got in progress here, would eliminate the village to even contribute to the SHA, and we would be allowed to put it in ourselves, but I just want to make sure that you all understood that, because I didn't know how clear that was with everybody. So I just want to make sure before you voted, however you vote, that you just was clear on what the circumstances would have been on this. And that's all the input I have, unless you have any questions or anything.
Any comments? Do we have a motion and a second on that?
Not yet.
We need a motion
The emergency motion.
for the approval of the emergency clause.
So moved.
I'll second.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yeah.
Ms. Gerber?
Nay.
Mr. Pollock?
Yeah. Yay.
Mr. Campbell?
Yay.
Mr. Thacker?
Yay.
Ms. Elliott?
Abstain.
We have 4 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 abstention.
All right. Last legislation. May Village, Ohio ordinance number 0-2012-11, an ordinance amending 0-211-49, particularized police department personnel policies, and declaring an emergency. At this time, I need a motion to waive 3 readings on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second.
I'll second if no one else does.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson?
Excuse me. Yay.
Ms. Gerber?
Yay.
Mr. Pollock?
Yay.
Mr. Campbell?
Yay.
Mr. Thacker?
Yay.
Ms. Elliott?
Yay.
6-0.
Amelia Village, Ohio ordinance number 0-2012-11, an ordinance amending 0-2011-49, the particularized police department personnel policies. At this time, I need a motion to adopt.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yay.
Ms. Gerber?
Yay.
Mr. Pollock?
Yay.
Mr. Campbell?
Yay.
Mr. Thacker?
Yay.
Ms. Elliott?
Abstain.
Passes 5-0 with one abstention.
Amelia Village, Ohio ordinance number 0-2012-11, an ordinance amending 0-211-49 of particularized police department personnel policies. And at this time, I need a motion to approve the emergency clause.
I make the motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yay.
Ms. Gerber?
Yay.
Mr. Pollock?
Yay.
Mr. Campbell?
Yay.
Mr. Packer?
Yay.
Ms. Elliott?
Abstain.
5-0 with one abstention.
All right. At this time, we actually have a guest, if I can refrain from our agenda for a few minutes. She works for AmeriCorps. She'd like to come forward, and she left everybody a nice pamphlet on the desk for everyone to look at.
My name is Tiffany. I serve with AmeriCorps. We're not allowed to say the word work. This week is AmeriCorps Week throughout the nation, and one of our goals is to communicate AmeriCorps' powerful impact on critical problems in our country. First, let me start off by explaining what AmeriCorps is. Imagine a large umbrella, and that umbrella represents the Corporation for National Community Service. The Corporation for National Community Service engages more than 5 million Americans of all ages and backgrounds in service to their communities each year. Now, under the umbrella are the programs they use to accomplish this, which include the Senior Corps, AmeriCorps State and National, AmeriCorps Vista, National Civilian Community Corps, the Learn and Serve programs, and they also lead President Obama's Call to Service initiative, United We Serve. I am an AmeriCorps member. Every day across the nation, AmeriCorps members are tackling America's toughest problems in disaster services, economic opportunity, education, environmental stewardship, healthy futures, and veterans and military families. Now that I've explained the logistics, I'm going to share my AmeriCorps story. I've learned about AmeriCorps while I was a freshman in college. I was the president of my college Habitat for Humanity Collegiate Challenge chapter at The Ohio State University, Newark, and we took a service trip to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. That's where I first met an AmeriCorps member. They were staying in an old rehab school with our group and serving on construction sites with us at Musician Village, helping rebuild homes for those who lost theirs during the storm. I couldn't believe that there were kids willing to give up a whole year of their time, including television, computers, and the basic comforts of home, to make a difference in the lives of someone that they had never met. I knew that someday I wanted to get involved in my community like they did. Well, fast forward to present day, and I recently graduated college with my bachelor's degree in social work and nonprofit management, but I wasn't really sure about what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. That's when a friend told me about this awesome opportunity to serve as an AmeriCorps member with AMVET's Career Center in my hometown of Cincinnati. I knew instantly that I wanted to join, even though we only get paid a measly $800 a month and serve 40 hours per week. We get the added benefit of an educational award for $5,500 at the end of the year of the service that you could either use to go to college or pay back your student loans. And with almost $30,000 of student loan debt, I wasn't going to pass up an opportunity to get money to pay towards that. I currently serve as a veteran employment specialist here in the Cincinnati area. I work with veterans who are homeless and need work, veterans who are participating in Veterans Court, veterans who are going back to school and will need a job, reserve members returning from Afghanistan that need work, spouses of deployed troops, and the list can go on. I help them build up their resume, practice interviewing skills, apply and search for jobs, and get computer training that they might need for the future. I also build partnerships with companies to get them on board to hire veterans and connect with local organizations to build a strong support network for the veterans that I serve. I can honestly say that I'm loving what I'm doing. Being an AmeriCorps member, we have to participate in various service activities outside of what our normal service is. These past few weeks, I have taken on the task to create a service project to help collect donations for the victims of the tornadoes that hit on March 2nd. I have rallied up my troops and have the support of the Ohio State University College of Social Work, AMVETS Ohio, the Veterans Service Commission in Claremont County, and now I'm asking you for your support. In your folders that you have, there's a list of items that you can donate and ways that you can help. I have included my contact information as well as my fellow AmeriCorps members if you have any questions. Thank you for your time and letting me share my story, and I just wanted to remind everyone to be the change that you wish to see in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Council input. Does council have any input? Did you want to bring up pay for it all?
Yeah. You said we need to move on that, didn't we?
We should.
Yeah, so then let's talk about paperwork.
I'm going to go ahead and open the floor right now. Mr. Thacker, we're going to talk about pay for. Finance had met about it, and it's something I think is important and we might want to look at moving on to. So if you want to give us a little bit of information, if not Julie and Chief both, we're in a meeting with Paycor. And they
Well, I'd much rather them talk about it than me, because they're the ones with all the facts and figures and numbers in front of them. I don't have them in front of me.
We would like him to recommend it to council that we use Paycor.
Yeah, but I'm sure we want to go over the numbers and all that. Did we get the final figures and all that stuff? Because I know we were talking about,
I haven't received anything further other than what that was at the meeting.
yeah, that was, I mean, it's a good idea.
But we need numbers. Do you
I
have any
need numbers, and I don't have them in front of me.
The last I seen was like 2,600
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's for the year, right?
for the year,
Correct.
but you do have fluctuations. You know, if you have child support, there's a fee. If you have a person drop out, there's a fee. If you issue a regular check, there could be a fee. It's based basically, I think, on 15 employees is where it's based at those numbers. I know currently between Julie and Chief, they spend between 8 and 10 hours per pay period crunching the numbers for payroll. So,
How many hours does that take away from Kevin as well?
okay.
Free up. I mean, would that free you up a lot, Kevin?
It took me 4 hours today to process payroll.
Okay, that would be a big yes.
It will cut his time completely out, but it will cut it down because he'll have a report issued by Paycor, which is easier to input than going through the hours.
Yeah. On that same note, if we do that, I know I've talked to Todd, and I think Todd's been approached by some of us on council with us moving our meetings to the second and fourth Tuesday. If we could get the council's pay stayed on that same date, but if we go to like the direct deposit and all that, if we could do it on the third week date. The same time, wouldn't it be the same time normal payroll would go out? Does everybody understand what I'm saying?
It's
Yeah, it's
basically
every
right
2
now,
weeks for payroll.
Right, so that second week,
right now,
instead of us getting our check on the fourth week, that we would get it the same time we normally would get it.
right now, council gets its paychecks on the second council meeting each month. By going direct deposit and putting council on the same schedule, basically every other pay for the employees, council will be getting paid, except this year, I think in July and November, just because there's 3 pays in those 2 months.
And I think what was it per month to use Paycor?
I'm
I'm not going to put you on the spot.
That's per pay period. It's about $75 per pay period.
So the cost savings alone is great, and they also offer a service where we could basically have a human service person that will do policy manuals. They will do police manuals. They will do village policy manuals. And I believe that was $30 extra a month.
per month.
Yeah,
And-
that's what they said. And I thought we were waiting on more information, a little bit more information about that is what I thought we were kind of waiting on.
I thought we thought
Yeah.
about going ahead and doing that so we can get,
Okay.
we're going to
There
get a
is no
policy manual.
contract,
There is,
so you can cancel at any time.
And we can get a policy manual the way she had explained it to me when you guys were talking, that, you know, a month's time, they can give us a policy manual where it would cost us who knows how much money, where they'd be able to do it for the $30.
And our policy manual is in need.
Dire need of
Yes.
revamping.
Correct.
For council's information, I did speak with the fiscal officer of New Richmond. And so far, they are very favorably pleased with the company. They had some problems, and it was just a phone call to fix. The other side, dealing with the accounting system, currently any reports they generate, I have to manually enter into the accounting system. But in 2013, the state is supposed to come out with a new system that will allow the importation of data from other sources. And that might decrease the current $900 a quarter that we're paying for the accounting system. I haven't looked into what sort of change there'd be, but for the remainder of this year, whether or not we go with Daycor, I'd like to stay with them, just kind of a fallback to be safe.
I think Paycor is a win-win situation for us. And also, they have the availability, they'll put time clocks on the computers, so the employees will clock in on their computers and clock out on their computers. That way you can have accountability. And then Chief and Julie will have the option to, especially Chief, if for some reason somebody would forget to, he would be the supervisor on there that could go back and he would be the overseer.
Just
of that.
me, nobody else.
Go.
So,
I mean, they could.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
so I guess what I'm looking for from council is
I'd like to make a motion that we use
Paycor.
Paycor. How's that? Is that good?
We have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on Paycor? Yes?
The village currently has a system from QQuest, I think, or something, or Quest, I can't remember. Time Force. I'm not sure what the cost is, but bringing on Paycor, that would go away,
Right.
which would be another cost savings.
All right, thank you, Kevin. I need a roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
We have a
Yay.
motion in a second. Go ahead. I have to keep her straight.
I'm trying to research the emergency clause.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Chief, do you have anything you
You
want to
better
bring
call
up
me.
tonight?
Yeah.
Hey, old man.
He called you, Bob.
No, he didn't.
We didn't.
You need to call.
He just went out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Maybe we're good.
Everybody's
Doing that.
just.
The only thing I had was a couple approvals of training opportunities we have. We've got 3 registered, one being myself, 2 schools, and it has to be approved by council. One of them is the clerk's training, which is the mayor's court clerk, and she goes to Kent, and she does this certification training every year. And the conference fee actually would be the $315, but she got a grant actually paid by the association that reduced that to $150. So now it's a total of $165. So she got a little break on that. It's going to be, the lodging is at the Embassy Suites, and I expect that that's where they're going to give the training at, and that is $327. So it'd be $327 for Embassy and $165 for Office of Continuing and Distance Education there at Kent State. The advantage of this is she learns all the current and changing laws that's gone through the year, and also she establishing a network of clerks throughout the state that if she has a question, she can just call one of those people and she can get them answered right then. So that's her. You want me to go on with this?
So you need a motion then for that one for right at $492. So a motion for $500 from council to approve that. And that's the training for Linda.
Make motion.
Second.
Yes, hold on.
Are you going to reimburse her for mileage?
And
And
yes.
per diem? Okay.
Also reimburse for mileage for being amend.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson. Yay. Ms. Gerber.
Yeah.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Okay, Chief, now your request.
Okay, I have new chief's workshop that I put in for. I'm already registered for this, but it's $280. And what we do is, I'm now a member of the OACP, and they provide me with necessary skills for the betterment of the department. And I guess I walk away with all kinds of stuff to ensure that we're on the right track on everything. So that's a start of these schools, and it's in Columbus, and all the food and everything's already there.
Is that a 1 day or is it?
It's a 2-day, and it's on a Sunday too. So Sunday and Monday.
So you need a total of $300 to pay for that?
It's $280.
$280
Plus mileage?
plus mileage, right?
Yes.
You're riding a motorcycle, aren't you?
Honda, but it's a car.
So I guess we need a motion to approve chief's training plus mileage.
Make a
For the end
motion.
in there as well.
I don't need one.
Don't need it then.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson? Yay. Ms. Gerber?
Yay.
Mr. Pollock?
Yay!
Mr. Campbell?
Yay.
Mr. Thacker?
Yay.
Ms. Elliott?
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Can I squeeze in one? Sorry.
Sure.
Because this is a May one. Sorry. This is a female enforcers training seminar, and this is taught by Pam Starr of the Dallas Police Force. She specializes in physical and tactical training for female, actually officers. And she, a lot of her instruction is on physical and emotional health and in a male-dominated field of law enforcement. And we have a female here that I think will really benefit from this training. It's 129 one-day course, Butler. It's right over here. So it's just a one-day deal, and it's $129. It's at Liberty Township, I believe, Butler.
They be driving their own car or one of our cars?
On one of our cars. So we don't need a gas or mileage thing or anything else.
So it's just $129 then.
What's
Well,
this?
wait a minute, I'll make the motion, we do it.
We're talking about Officer Lovin.
Well,
We have to have a
seems
name.
like you're talking about
We
one
have to have a
somebody else
name,
we
I
don't
mean.
know about.
Janice Love.
Yeah, well, we have to put a name on that, so I can't just do this.
Something y'all want to tell us?
I didn't mean anything.
No, I know.
Clarify the name.
Make a motion that Janice attend the,
I already did that.
you didn't do it correctly.
Well, she knows who she is.
Second it.
I said it first.
We got that straight? Who said what?
I got Renee moving and Bob seconding.
Is that all right with you two?
That's fine.
We're gonna discuss you after.
Any other discussion on that training? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson? Yay. Ms. Gerber?
Yay.
Mr. Pollock?
Yay.
Mr. Campbell?
Yay.
Mr. Thacker?
Yay.
Ms. Elliott?
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you, Chief. We could open the floor if council wants for any more public input, or we can.
I got council input too. You want to open that up? Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it? Thank you. I just want to.
Council
I have something to
input.
say too, but I mean,
Oh.
I have something else.
Okay. I just want to put it out that the Easter egg hunt will be April 7th, Saturday, starting at 11. Setup will be from 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. I strongly encourage council members to be there. We're in conjunction with the PTA this year. So we'll have a lot more kids than we normally do, weather holding out. So we have a lot of things going on that way. So if anybody feels free that would like to donate some candy, you can either reach myself or Michelle Ballside, sorry. So
Who'd you say that was?
April 7th. Saturday at Shank Park.
Easter Bunny will be there.
Easter Bunny will be there.
Do you want to add anything to
I
that?
do.
Okay.
You want to come up
Sure.
I have rejoined the Recreation Commission, and they did elect me as chairperson last night. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to, I'm hitting the ground running with it. So I want to possibly around the time that we do our cleaning green, possibly spruce up our parks a little bit. I know that with the weather the way it is, my flowers are up and they're like singing to the sun. So I know last year when my flower beds kind of died off, they were all overgrown. If you guys are going to split your plants or anything, maybe want to donate something that's low maintenance to the parks, we could greatly use them because we have very little budget. So if you're going to split any plants when you do your landscaping this year, please remember that we could probably use those in our parks. Second thing, I was wondering if we could put this young lady's checklist maybe on the website so that we could go there and see what donations we could give to the area residents, since we are kind of like a sister village to the two areas that were hit here. Just a recommendation, if you guys could do that, I would appreciate it because I would like to see the list as well. And third thing, I want to, my opinion, that when you guys took these seats on council, it wasn't for a walk in the park, and what you guys had to do tonight to a business owner, it's tough. And I think as a resident, I understand that, I see that. It's tough for you, it's tough for him, but you have to see the long vision. And I think you did do the right thing for the village.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to see you.
Anyone else have any other input? Sure. We're on a roll.
And the reason I'm saying this is because this is all in your packet. It's a comparison of pay scale and all that. And I know if any of you got a chance to look through this, you were probably extremely amazed of what we're making as the officers, and compared to other villages our size. I try to get them sort of our size and our call volume. The only one that might have been below us would be New Richmond, and their or Bethel, and their call volume doesn't even compare to our call volume. These guys work very hard, and you're actually getting staple and baloney prices, as somebody put it to me one time, and I think they're really doing an excellent job. So anything along the guidelines of pay raises or anything to make it at least more bearable, especially in times where insurance prices we're expected to pay even, I think it's up to $50 more a month for that even. And we, as a whole department, really appreciate anything that the council would see fit in doing on our behalf.
Thank you, Chief.
Will we have that information at our next meeting from the Finance Committee on recommendations for
I
raises
will
and stuff?
forward that to Derek so we can work on that. But I know they're looking at raises. Well,
Yeah,
Chuck,
we are.
They are looking at raises now and looking at possibly maybe bonus checks, just depending.
But, okay, the question was, can we have that information at next meeting?
I would say you would when he gives his report. It'll be included in the report.
Yeah, if we did, I don't feel like we're really at the point where we're ready to make a recommendation on it. We did talk about it a little bit, we're kind of looking into it.
We'll just bring it forward next time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anything else? Nothing else? I make a motion. Oh, we got one other thing.
We will
Oh,
need to schedule a special meeting on March 21st.
yes, we
At
will.
7 o'clock. That is for the TIF legislation. The West Claremont Local School District and the Joint Vocational School District were both notified last week of your intent to create the TIF on the Kroger site.
It's for the TIF.
Oh. So I'm in favor. Union Township.
So we're doing it
On the 21st
21st
at 7 p.m.
Wednesdays are really bad
That's
for me.
Tuesday.
It's a
It's a
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Is it
It's
a
a
Wednesday?
Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
Oh, it's gonna have to be the 20th.
I don't know if we can do it to 20. We have a certain deadline day.
Y'all
we have.
killing me.
I know, but it's really, really important, and
I thought you
everything
told
we're
me
doing
last
right
night was
now.
Tuesday.
I thought it was.
Benito Juarez.
I was wrong.
I
It won't be long.
probably wiggle out of my commitment.
It's very important. This is huge.
I will, if you need 5 people here, I'll be here.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be here.
I will try to quit doing this now.
Yeah,
All of
this
council.
is the last time, just saying.
Thank you. And actually, I have something also.
Oh, really?
Yes. I need a motion to authorize the auditor of state memorandum of agreement. I need to go in any further than that. It's just an audit.
It's just to pay the auditors that you're required to
I make the
have.
motion to do that.
All right. Thank you, Bob. I have a second. First and second. Any other discussion?
Is this the yearly audits?
It's a biannual audit. Only two companies out of 8 submitted proposals. This company, Charles Harris, I believe, their proposal is right around $10,000 per audit, each audit covering 2 years. So we're looking at a 6-year span. The other company was proposing close to $19,000 for each audit. And the Harris, aside from the cost, also had higher scores for the state auditor on many of the other areas they looked at.
Anything else? We got a motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Mrs. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yeah.
Mr. Campbell.
Yeah.
Mr. Packer.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
That is all I have. Anybody else have anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Do we have anything else? Hold on.
Hold on.
This is busy.
Yeah. We should go ahead. That's a supplement update.
Oh, the American Legal. Which one do we want to approve?
Both.
Both?
Yeah. You want to read the pertinent parts?
Do you want me to read this? Or? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter.
American Legal is who does our codes, and they're looking to do a supplement, which is take everything that was passed last year and update it into a book, and I think they put it on CD or something. So they call that the and do the website, right?
Yes.
And then they put it online so that people can access it there. So they're estimating the cost to be $3,400 to $4,400 to do the code update, that's reviewing all your ordinances, and then $290 to $350 to do the folio version, which is the part on the internet.
How much was the second one, please?
$290 to $350. So, and I would recommend that you guys go ahead and approve that.
Can I get a motion from council to approve the American Legal Publishing Corporation
What's that up?
resolution?
Tell me what that is again.
They keep our resolutions and ordinances on record. They update them, and they also put them on the
How can they
web.
update them if we don't make any?
We do them every night, every day.
Oh, you're talking about they just keep track of what we're doing. How come we can't do that ourselves?
Well, they also incorporate changes in state law that would affect, like mayor's court and things like that.
It's something we've always had.
And if it,
We've always had it, how come we're doing it now?
'Cause you
It's
have
an
to update
annual
it.
thing.
and you couldn't go back and do it ourselves because it's, so far back, and they've changed things out and updated the state, and it is something to reference quite often.
You say so?
I say so.
Okay, I'll make a motion. We do it.
Second.
Please.
I think that's your best cost. If we had to do it ourselves and I was doing it, I think you would exceed those costs.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second.
A second.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yeah.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Are we out? Make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.